Hey everybody, welcome to another amazing episode of
The Unbox Boys!
I'm Dave, this is my son Elias.
Hello.
And here we're going to check out something to commemorate the second anniversary of the death of Leonard Nimoy, which is at the end of this month. We've got the Star Trek original series, Mr. Spock from Diamond Select Toys. Let's check out the packaging here. Got the front with Spock, an opposite or alternate head, a couple of different hands and legs, and then a stone, which is actually a living being, which we'll tell you about.
I don't remember.
On the side, a nice picture of Leonard Nimoy there. Other side, nothing to write home about. And then on the back, a write-up, actually a pretty lengthy write-up about Spock and what this episode is about. If you want to freeze frame this, you can do that right now. This is Spock taken from a Star Trek episode from 1967 called The Devil in the Dark. For you original series fans, you may recall that. This is again from Diamond Select Toys and StarTrek.com. That's the packaging, so let's check out the slap.
What are you doing, woman?
Okay, before we get into the actual sculpt part, let me just say that Diamond Select Toys from this era, they do not mess around when it comes to twist ties, man. It's almost like they don't want you to open the toy.
Yeah.
It was,
How many?
I don't know, but it was a nightmare to get open. But to maintain those poses in the packaging, I guess they have to do that. So that's just a personal issue there. But so the sculpt on Mr. Spock here, I'd say the head sculpt looks pretty great.
Even on the other one.
Yeah, I mean his hair never had a lot of body or detail anyway, and so there was no need for a lot of waviness. But they do have some nice grooves in the hair there.
I like the. They did good on the sculpt on the above the eyebrows almost.
Yeah.
Like you see the
Wrinkles,
little
yeah.
wrinkles and stuff on the eyes.
Even
and
on
all
the
that.
teeth and the nose and mouth looks good. Mm-hmm. The outfit as well. I was going to see if that was paint. That's actually kind of.
It's a paint kind of thing.
It's a paint, but it kind of lifts a little bit, even on the emblem and on the arms. Maybe it's like a puffy paint kind of deal. So we'll get to that when we review the paint. But even in the pant legs and all that, a lot of nice texture and detail there. So for sculpt, well, let's look here too. Of course, he's got a couple extra pairs of hands, which are pretty decent, I'd say. As far as the sculpt goes, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Just got to keep it in frame there. Sorry. And even in the bonus pieces they have there, they've got two different tricorders.
Yeah.
What's the nice deal? One is open, one is not.
It
Seems
just
like they
gives a little bit
Yeah,
more.
seems like they probably could have just given you
A little
one
flap.
that would open and close.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's a bonus. It's nice. And then they give you this background piece there, which is a nice sculpt as well.
I really like it.
The rock. Let me look on the box here. See what that thing was called again. Sorry, that was the Horta. Horta is the name of the creature. It's
Also,
actually a living
it
rock there.
has like a, what is this, the brain or something?
I think so. We're just showing that's part of a.
Then it has a little cover that goes over here, but it doesn't. It comes off pretty easy. It just is like laying on there, so it can come off easy.
Yeah.
But
So if the brain kind of grosses you out, you can cover it up. But yeah, that's sculpted nicely. So on the sculpt, I'd give it a full point. You think?
yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay, full point.
Full point.
Next in the slap is the L, which is for likeness. How much does it look like the character? If I were to look at this, and it's kind of a giveaway, if I were to look at this and say, obviously the ears, the haircut, everything gives it away as Mr. Spock. If I were to see this with different hair, would I know it was Leonard Nimoy? Maybe, maybe not. But I'd say for what the purpose is of this sculpt, I'd say it's pretty good. I'd say you would look at that and say, yeah, that looks like Leonard Nimoy in that era from the 60s. So I would give the sculpt, or the likeness rather, full point.
Yeah.
Full point.
Then we come to the articulation. And this is from 2015 from Diamond Select Toys. And so what they sacrifice in articulation, they may make up for in exchangeable parts, because they do give you an extra pair of hands, 2 different heads, and the lower body there is interchangeable. So you can swap it out, you can swap out the heads. So we'll kind of let them give them a pass on that, I guess.
How about half?
Because on the legs, there's no, well, the feet actually do kind of twist a little bit, so that's good.
So if it's on the stand, then
so it's the boot cut actually, which we kind of like. Because it doesn't give you lines there. So yeah, at the boot. Obviously he'll twist at the waist because that's where he's joined together.
Also,
and the arms. Oh, go ahead.
On the stand itself, it has a little pegs, so you can put them up in for both of the legs. Like they have some for this type of leg, and then they have other ones for the other kneeling ones.
Okay.
So just kind of.
Yeah. So, and then with more articulation, you can twist around the hands, which is nice. Single joints on the elbow, at least on this. It does have a twist there, so that's not bad. And the arms do move. The head does move side to side. No up and down motion on the head. And again, nothing on the legs there. So, it's a tough call because they do give you some articulation and posability, which is nice, but obviously if this were a full-on action figure with more points of articulation and movement, it would be a different story. But I think this is designed to be more of a pose and set up, not a play with. But so for articulation, I'd say half point.
Yeah.
Half point.
Okay, and that brings us to the P, which is paint. How does the paint look on Mr. Spock?
Well, I like the outside, like the light blue, and it does a really good color of it and all. But there was one thing that when I was changing out the heads, that if I can get it off.
Oh.
Yeah. The paint was coming off of right here.
Around his neck
so
there.
I don't know if I liked that, but
Okay.
And it kind of rubs, like the black is rubbing on his neck right there.
Right, his Adam's
So,
apple, if you can see that a little bit.
And same with the hands, the blue kind of does. So
well, and that's on the inside, mostly covered up, so that's not a big loss there. I like that it seems to be not too glossy of a finish on his face, and yet they kind of did give a little sheen to his hair, which I think is a nice contrast there. I think as far as the eyes, although they're not really very lively or colored, they're at least centered, which is a plus for these action figures. On the other head, I think they did a nice job with the teeth and the mouth there. I think it looks good. On the tricorders, not a whole lot to do there. Some black with some silver paint. I don't know. I'd have to look closely at pictures to see if maybe there should have been some little colors on the buttons or lights there for the tricorder. That might have been a nice little touch. But the background, though, seems to be
it's
painted
pretty good.
Yeah, some nice detail there with the orange and yellow mix there. The gray brain of the creature there with some purple.
And it just has some like contrast and stuff. Even on the brown part, there's just some lighter browns and stuff, and just a lot of detail in the paint.
Yeah, and even some weathering on there. It is a little bit glossy, maybe as far as the floor and the rock itself, but that's okay. So I'd say for the paint, while there's not a lot of detail, I guess the more details on the background, but there wasn't a lot of. It's not like some of these characters where they've got so much stuff on them to paint. I mean, they didn't have any belt buckles on these guys or anything. So where the paint counts on the emblem, on the wrists, on the neck and everything, and the shirt, I think they got it right. So for the paint, I'd give this one a full point.
Yeah.
Full point.
So overall, as we remember the second anniversary of the death of Leonard Nimoy this month, we give this figure from Diamond Select Toys of Mr. Spock 3.5 on the slap scale. In the comments below, let us know what you think. Do you have this figure? Do you like it? Are you a Star Trek fan? Who is your favorite character on Star Trek? Do you prefer the original series or Next Generation or one of the other ones that followed after that? Who was a better captain? Captain Kirk, Picard? What do you think? We'd love to hear your comments down below. Be sure to smash that like button as well. And subscribe. Just click that subscribe button. It's totally free. A little notification option will pop up. At least it should. And click on that so you know when new videos are coming along. And be sure and share this as well. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever fine sharing is sold.
Sold?
I don't know.
You just said it's free.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure and catch us on our next video. Till then, God bless.